Hello everybody, welcome back to another video inside of Minecraft, and today we're going to continue with this Jigger pixel art tutorial. We're going to start up here. We're going to hopefully fill this section in today. Could take a lot of time, it could take not much time at all, I'm not sure. I'm just hoping for the best. So we're going to start the words. We're going to come over here to this cobblestone, which is over here, and to the right of it you're going to place a cyan terracotta with a lime terracotta to the right of that. Starting underneath this cobblestone, so go back to that cobblestone and start underneath it with your green concrete. You're going to place 4 green concretes going across to the right like so. To the right of that, place a green terracotta with 2 green terracottas going down to the right. And then bottom block of those 2 on the right, place 3 blocks going across to the right. On top of that third block, place a green terracotta. On the bottom of that third block, place a green terracotta, and to the left of that, place a green concrete. Come back up here to this green terracotta we had on top of the 3, and from that place a lime terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with 2 cyan terracottas to the left of that. From the right block of those 2, underneath it, place a cyan terracotta. Go back to these 2 cyan terracottas, and from that end block, place a grey wall going diagonally down to the left. Underneath that, place a green terracotta with a grey wall below that, with a green terracotta below that. To the left of that green terracotta, place 3 grey walls going across to the left, with a linked 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. On top of the first block of those 2, place a green concrete, with a green concrete going diagonally up to the right. So fill in this empty space here with your green concrete. We can't do the rest yet because I don't have the blocks on me. It's fine, we'll come back to this section. So go back to this cobblestone here, and to the left of it, place a cyan terracotta with a linked 2 cyan terracottas going across to the left on top of it. Starting from that 1 block to the left of that cobblestone, so there, you are going to place 2 grey walls going across to the left with a linked 4 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. Starting from that 4th block underneath it, place 2 blocks going across to the right to go back to that 4th block, and to the left of it, place a cyan concrete with a grey wall after it. Then place a green concrete going diagonally up to the left, with a grey wall to the left of it. Go back to that green concrete, and to the right of it, place 2 grey walls, with 3 grey walls going across on the upper level to the right. On top of that third block, place a green terracotta with a green terracotta going diagonally down to the right, with a grey wall going diagonally down to the right of that. So where you've got this 4 block space, you are going, where you've got these 3 grey walls, starting on the first and third block, place a grey wall below it. I don't have, it's fine, I can get rid of this. You're going to need some obsidian, and fill in this empty space and this empty space here with your obsidian. And down here, also with your obsidian. So that should look like that. Anyway, you're now going to come over here to where you've got this grey wall here. And to the left of it, place a cyan terracotta with a grey wall going diagonally up to the left. Go back to this cyan terracotta and place 2 grey walls going across on the lower level to the left. This isn't a terracotta, this is cyan concrete. Anyway, place these 2 grey walls, and underneath the second block of those 2, place a grey wall with a cyan concrete to the left of it, with a grey wall to the left of that. Place an obsidian to the left of that, then a cyan concrete to the left of that. From that cyan concrete, place 2 cyan concretes across on the upper level to the right. Then place 1 block going up diagonally to the right. Then place another cyan concrete going up to the right. Then place 2 blocks going up on the right. From the bottom block of those 2, place 1 block going to the right, and then place 1 block going diagonally down to the right. Then 2 blocks going diagonally up to the right with your cyan concrete, and from that block there, place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So fill in this empty space here, this empty space here, this empty space here, and this empty space here with your cyan concrete. So starting from this cyan concrete here, to the left of it, place a cyan wall with 2 cyan walls going up to the right. and then place 2 cyan walls going up to the right, and then place 1 cyan wall going diagonally up to the right. So you're now going to have to come up here and come to this light grey wall, and to the right of it place a light blue wall, with a light blue wall going diagonally down to the left, with a linked 2 cyan walls going down to the left like so. So this is where it's going to get tricky, because we've got to place some cyan concrete powder. So I'm going to start down here by first placing in the cyan walls, and then we can place in the powder. So starting on top of the right block of these 2 cyan concrete, you're going to place a cyan wall with a cyan wall going diagonally up to the right. Use that as the center block for 3 cyan walls going across on top of it. Use the right block of those 3 for 1 cyan wall going up. On top of that, place a cyan concrete powder with 2 cyan concrete powders going down, linked to the left. Come down here, fill in this empty space and this empty space with your cyan concrete powder. So coming up here, where you've got this cyan concrete, to the left of it, place a cyan concrete powder with a cyan wall on top of it, with a cyan wall to the left of it. On top of that, place a cyan concrete powder. So you can now fill in this one empty space here. It's a small empty space. Fill it in with your cyan wool, like so. So then moving down here to where you've got these blocks here, like this green concrete and this grey wool. To the right of the grey wool, you are going to place 2 grey terracottas. Using the left block of those 2 below it, place 4 grey terracottas going across to the right, with a cyan terracotta to the right of that. So I'm gonna quickly grab the oak log, because on top of that you can place an oak log. Fill in this empty space here with your oak log, and then grab your light grey terracotta and fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Then grab your cobblestone and fill in this empty space here with your cobblestone. So that should look like that. Come back down here to where you've got this grey terracotta here, and from it you're going to place 7 blocks going across on the lower level to the left, starting on top of the 5th block of those 7. So right there you can place a grey terracotta. On top of this grey wool, place a grey terracotta with a block of coal above it, with a black wool to the right of that. Go back to this block of coal. Actually, don't go back to that block of coal. Come down here to this grey terracotta, and to the left of that, place 2 black wools, with a black wool going diagonally up to the left. On the left of that, place 4 blocks of coals going across the left, with a block of coal going diagonally down to the left. To the right of that block of coal, place 5 obsidian. Go back to this block of coal, and to the left of it, place an obsidian with a linked 2 obsidian going across on the upper level to the right. To the left of these 2 obsidian, you're going to place 2 black wool. Underneath the right block of those 2, place a black wool, and 2 blocks of coal to the left of that black wool. To the left of that, place a black wool, sorry, with 2 black wools going across on the lower level to the right, linked. To the left of those 2, you're going to place a block of coal with black wool below it. Go back to this block of coal here, and on top of it, you are going to place a grey terracotta with a grey terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with another one with 2 grey terracottas going down to the left, not diagonally, just down like this. On top of those 2, you're going to place 2 grey walls going up. From that top block, on the left, place a grey wall. Go back to that top block, on the right, place a grey wall with a linked 3 grey walls going across on the upper level to the right. To the right of that, place a grey terracotta with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the right from that. No, not a green, lime, sorry. A lime terracotta going diagonally up to the right from that. And to the right of that, place 3 grey terracottas going across to the right. Go back to this lime terracotta, and starting on top of it, you can place 2 blocks of coal going across to the right. Go to the left block of those 2 blocks of coal, and on top of that, place an obsidian with a lime terracotta on top of it. I'm not going to tell you to fill that in yet, but you're going to fill that in with obsidian. We'll do that in a second though. Go to this grey wall here, these 3 grey walls, and go to the right block of those 3. And on top of it, place a block of coal, a black wall to the left of it, with 4 obsidians to the left of that. Starting underneath that 4th block, you're going to place 2 grey terracottas going down, fill in this 1 empty space here with your grey terracottas. Go back to these 2 grey terracottas we are going down, and underneath it, so right there, you're going to place a green terracotta with a linked 2 blocks going down to the right, with 2 green concretes below it. To the left of those 2 green concretes, you're going to place 2 green terracottas, like that. From the bottom block of those 2 green terracottas, on the left of it, you're going to place 2 green concretes going across to the left. On top of that second green concrete, you place 2 green terracottas going up on top of it. From the top block of those 2 on the right, place a green terracotta. Go back to these 2 green terracottas we had going up, and on top of those, place 2 green concrete with a green terracotta above it. Go to this green terracotta we had going to the right here, and on top of it, so right there, you can place 5 green terracottas going up like so, with a linked 2 grey walls going up on the right. So now with your obsidian, you're going to fill in this empty space and this empty space. So go ahead and do that now. So that should look like that, and then coming down here to this grey terracotta here, and to the right of that grey terracotta, so right here, you are going to place 4 grey terracottas going across to the right, with 1 block going up to the right. Fill in this empty space here with your grey terracotta. Come down here to the second block of those 4, so right there, you can place 2 grey terracottas going across to the right, with a block of coal to the right of that, and a black wall to the right of that. From that black wall, you can place a linked 2 grey walls going across on the upper level to the right. On top of the second block of those 2, place a grey wall above it, with 2 grey terracottas going across to the right, with a black wall to the right of that, with 3 blocks of coal to the right of that, with a 2 black walls to the right of that. So then, coming up here to this, on top of these 2 black walls, on the left of it, on the left of the 2, so right there, you can place a grey wall, and fill in this empty space here with your grey terracottas, like so. I thought I'd done this, so that's why there was a bit of cutting here. Anyway, go to these 2 blocks here, and to the left of those 2, place a grey terracotta below it, with a cyan terracotta below that, with a grey wall below that. Go back to this cyan terracotta, place a cyan terracotta, grey wall, sorry, going diagonally up to the right. Go back to this grey wall down here, to the left of it, place a cyan terracotta. I'm gonna have to grab some cobblestone. We'll leave that for now. So come over here to these 2 grey terracottas here, and underneath it, you're gonna place a grey wall with a green concrete to the right and underneath of it. Go to this green concrete we had underneath it, and to the left of it, place 2 spruce logs going across to the left, with a linked 2 green concretes going down to the left. From the bottom block of those 2 on the right, place a green concrete, with 3 grey terracottas going across to the right. From the 3rd block on top of it, place a grey terracotta. Go to the middle block of these 3, go back to this 3 and place a grey terracotta below it, with a spruce log below that, with a grey terracotta to the left of that, and then place a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the right from that. Go to this one going down to the left, and to the right of it, place 2 green terracottas going across to the right. Go back to that lime terracotta, and place 2 green terracottas going up on top of it. To the top block of those 2 on the right, place a green concrete. Go back to the top block of those 2 on the left, place a spruce log with a lime terracotta to the left of it. On top of that lime terracotta, place 2 green terracottas going up on top of it. So now I'm gonna grab cobblestone. I can do that pretty safely. I don't think there's much, well, there is more lime. It's fine, I'll grab some cobblestone. Okay, underneath this grey wall here, place a cobblestone. place a cobblestone there, with cobblestone going diagonally down to the left. To the left of that, place a grey wall, with a block of coal to the left of it, with a block of coal going diagonally down to the left. On top of that block of coal, place a black wall, with 2 cyan terracottas going across on a lower level to the right, with a black wall to the right of that. Go back to these 2 cyan terracottas, and from the left of those 2, underneath it, you are going to place a grey wall, with a cobblestone to the left of it, with 2 grey walls going down below it. From the top block of those 2, place a linked 2 grey walls going up on the left. Underneath those 2, you're going to place a green concrete, with a cyan terracotta going diagonally down to the right, with a lime terracotta below it, and a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the right of that. On top of that, you are going to place 2 green terracottas going up, with a green concrete to the right of the top of the second block. Go back to the second block, and on top of it, you are going to place a grey terracotta like so. So, then moving up here, to where you've got these 4 blocks going across here, underneath the fourth block, sorry, so right there, you're going to place 2 spruce logs going down, with 3 black walls going down on the left like so. Underneath that third block, place a spruce log, with a spruce block going diagonally down to the left, with a black wall to the left of that. On top of that, place 2 black walls, a black wall going across to the right, fill in this 1 empty space here with your black wall. Go back to this block here, and on top of it, place a grey terracotta, with 2 black walls on top of it. To the left of that, place a grey black wall. Fill in this 1 empty space here with your black wall. No, your block of coal, sorry. Fill in this empty space with your block of coal. To the left of this black wall, you are going to place 2 blocks of coal going across to the left, with a black wall to the left of that. I am looking for obsidian. Here it is. There's a big thing that I told you to fill in earlier. Place 3 obsidians to the left of that black wall. From the middle block of those 3, underneath it, place 2 obsidians going down from the left block of those 3, so right there. You're going to place 1 block going down, with a linked 2 blocks going down to the left. And from the bottom block of those 2 on the left, place a 1 obsidian going across to the left. Then place 2 blocks going diagonally down to the left, like so. From the bottom block of those 2 on the left, place 2 blocks of coal going across to the left, with another 2 going across on a lower level to the left. Then place 2 blocks going down to the left, with 1 block from the bottom block of those 2 going across to the left. So you're going to come up here to where you've got this black wall here, and underneath it place an obsidian, with a black wall going diagonally down to the left. So you can now fill in this empty space here with your block of coal. I'll do it on camera with you to make sure you get it all right. So that should look like that. And then coming over here to where you've got this not cyan, grey terracotta. To the left of it, place 2 obsidians, with a linked 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. With a linked 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. And underneath that, place a obsidian, with 2 blocks going diagonally down to the left. On top of that second diagonal, so right there, you're going to put, with your block of coal, you can place 1 block, with 1 block going diagonally up to the left, with 1 block going diagonally down to the left. Go back to this one we had diagonally up to the left, and place 3 blocks across on the upper level to the left. Yeah, you can now fill in this empty space here with your block of coal. Once again, I'll do it on camera with you. So that should look like that. And then coming over here, where you've got this first set we had going across, linked going across to the left. So starting underneath the right block of those 2, so right there, you can place 3 grey terracottas going down like so, with a spruce log below it. Go back to the bottom block of those 3, and on the left of it, place 2 grey terracottas. Fill in this 1 empty space with your grey terracotta. Go back to these 2, and from that bottom block, you place 1 block going diagonally down to the left, with a black wall going diagonally down to the left. Underneath that, place a grey terracotta, with a grey wall below it, and then place 2 grey walls going up to the right, with a linked 2 going up to the right of that. Next to those 2 blocks, place 2 green concrete, And where you've got this spruce log on the right, place a green concrete with a cyan terracotta going diagonally up to the right from that. So you're going to come down here to the first two weird going up to the right of grey wool, and underneath it place a cyan terracotta with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the right with a lime terracotta to the right of that. From this grey wool, which we had underneath this grey terracotta, you're going to place a black wool going diagonally down to the left with an obsidian going diagonally down to the left of that. And then place two obsidians going down on the left like so. On the top block of those two on the right, place a cyan terracotta like so. Go back to these two obsidians and underneath it place a green concrete. And I'm going to grab probably the last two blue blocks we're going to place in the build. You're going to grab your cyan wool, and starting underneath that green, you can place two cyan wools going linked across to the left like so. That is the last two blue blocks of the build, I think. Yeah, because we've done all this tie-in stuff, so yeah, last blue blocks. That's quite maybe monumental, I don't know, depends what you feel like. To the left of that, you're going to place an obsidian like so, with an obsidian going diagonally up to the left, with another one going diagonally up to the left, and to the left of that place a cyan terracotta with two grey walls going up on the left of that. On top of that, well, from that top block you place a grey wall going diagonally up to the left with a grey terracotta above it, with a green concrete going diagonally down to the right from that. Go back to this grey terracotta, to the left of it place a green concrete with a cyan terracotta to the left of it, with a cyan terracotta going diagonally down, well, two cyan terracottas going diagonally down to the right like so. Starting to the left of that second diagonal, you are going to place two lime terracottas going across to the left, with a linked two block going across on the upper level to the left. So coming up here to this cyan terracotta here, on top of it place a grey wall with a block of coal to the right of it. So you can now fill in this one empty space here with your obsidian, so go ahead and do that now. So that should all look like that, and then coming up here, you're going to fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracottas like so. And underneath these two spruce logs, you are going to place a black terracotta, a grey terracotta, and then a green terracotta. I can now switch this green terracotta out for birch planks. Underneath this green terracotta, you are going to place a light grey wool with three white terracottas below. To the left of the middle block of those three, you are going to place a white terracotta with a light grey terracotta above it. Fill in this one empty space here with your black terracotta, with a light grey wool going diagonally down to the right, with a light grey wool going diagonally down to the left. Go back to this one we had diagonally down to the right, and place a birch log to the right of it. Underneath that, place two white terracottas. You can fill in this empty space here with your white terracotta. And then coming to the second block we had going diagonally down to the left with your light grey. From that you can place a white terracotta again diagonally down to the left with your white terracotta. I've already said white terracotta, then you say it twice. And then from that place two birch logs going down to the left, with white terracotta to the left of the bottom block of those two. On top of that place a cobblestone, a light grey wall going diagonally down to the left with a cobblestone to the left of that, and a cobblestone going diagonally down to the left of that. And underneath that, you are going to place 5 birch logs going down, with, from the bottom block of those 5 on the left, place a birch log. On top of that birch log, you can place a light grey wool with 2 cobblestones above it. Go back to this birch log, and to the left of it, you place a light grey wool, a cobblestone to the left of it, with a light grey wool to the left of that, with a birch log diagonally up to the left of that, with a light grey wool to the left, or diagonally up to the left of that, with a birch log to the left of that, with a linked 2 light grey walls going up on the left, to the top block of those two on the left, place a white terracotta with a birch plank with a oak plank above it with 2 birch planks to the left of that. Go back to this oak plank and to the right of it place a cobblestone. Go to these 2 birch planks and to the right of those 2 underneath it place 3 white terracottas going across to the left. On top of the second block of those 2, the third block of those 3, so right there, you can place 2 light grey walls going up with a light grey wall going diagonally up to the left with 2 going across on the upper level to the left. On top of those 2, place 2 light grey terracottas from the right block of those 2 underneath. You can place a link, 2 blocks going down on the lower level to the right with your light grey terracotta. Underneath it, place a cobblestone with a cobblestone going diagonally down to the right. Up here, you can place a cobblestone there. I don't have any oak logs on me, nor can I see any around, so I'm going to have to just grab them. So you're going to grab oak logs, like so, and fill in this empty space here with your oak logs. Come down here, you're going to fill in this one empty space here with your oak log as well. And then you are going to come over here to where you've got these 2 light grey terracottas, and you can place a oak plank diagonally up to the left of it with a birch plank below it, with a white terracotta below that with a white terracotta going diagonally down to the right. Then place a birch plank to the right of that with 2 birch planks going down on the right. Then place a birch wood below that with 2 birch woods going across on the lower level to the left. And then place a birch wood going diagonally up to the left with 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. Then on top of the right block of those 2, place a birch log, with a birch log going diagonally up to the right. And fill in this empty space here with your birch logs like so. You are then going to come down here to where you've got these 2 light greys going down, and underneath it you're going to place 2 birch logs going across to the left like so. From the right block of those 2, underneath it place a birch log with a birch log going diagonally down to the right with another one going diagonally down to the right. Then place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. Go back to that one we had down to the right and place 1 block going diagonally down to the right with 1 block going diagonally down to the left. Go back to that 1 block we had going diagonally down to the right, the last one that we placed. Place 1 block going diagonally up to the right with 1 block going diagonally up to the left of that. So fill in this empty space here with your birch logs. Leave these ones. They're going to be done later on. Go back to this one here and place, starting on top of it, place 3 birch logs going across to the right like so. You know what, I'm going to grab it now. You're going to need sand. Fill in this empty space and this empty space with your sand like so. And on these, place 2 sand with a sand going up like that. You are now going to come over here to where you've got these 2 blocks going across like so. And from that bottom block here, you're going to place a 3 birch logs going down on the right like so. From the bottom block of those 2 on the right, place 2 birch logs going up. Go back to these 3, and from the bottom block, place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left like so. From the top left block of those 2, place a birch log, with a birch log going diagonally up to the right. Fill in this empty space with your birch log. Come back to this the top block of those 3 birch logs we had going down, and you're going to place 3 birch logs going across on the upper level to the right like so. On top of the third block, so right there, you are going to place 4 birch logs going up, with a birch log going diagonally up to the left, with a sand to the right of that. Fill in this empty space here with your birch log. Like so. This is going to be a pain to put all this sand in. Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do this. You are going to come over here to this nose where you've got these oranges, and from the middle block of these oranges, on top of it you're going to place a birch plank with 2 white terracottas going across to the left of it, a white terracotta going diagonally down to the left, 2 white terracottas going down on the left. To the bottom block of those 2 on the right, place a birch an oak plank with a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the right. Fill in this empty space and the empty space up to the right of it with your sand. So come back down here to where you've got these jungle logs, and to the left of these jungle logs, so right there, you can place 2 light grey walls going across to the left. From the bottom block, the left block of those 2, underneath it, place a light grey wall below it, with a light grey wall going diagonally down to the left, with a light grey wall going diagonally down to the right, then diagonally down to the left. On top of the one down to the right, you are going to place an oak plank with an birch plank going diagonally down to the left, with a linked 2 blocks going up to the left. Go back to the bottom block of those 2 and place 2 blocks going down to the left. Then place 1 block going diagonally down to the left, and then place 3 blocks going down on the right. From the middle block of those 3 on the right, place 3 birch planks going up, with 1 birch plank going diagonally up to the right. Fill in this empty space and that empty space with your birch plank, like so. Sorry, just keeps being a sound. I just have to mute it. Anyway, underneath these 3 birch planks here, you are going to place 2 white terracottas going down like so. Go to the top block of those 2 on the left. You're going to place 3 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. On top of the first block of those 3, place 2 blocks. On top of the second block, place 1 block. And on top of that, place a birch plank with 2 birch planks going across to the left of it. Underneath that birch plank, you're going to place 4 birch planks going down like so, with a an oak plank below it. Underneath that, place a cobblestone with a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with 2 blocks going up on the left of that, with an oak plank above it, with 2 light grey terracottas going on top of that. On top of that, place 2 oak planks going up, with a linked 2 blocks going up on the left. To the left of that top block, place 2 oak planks going across to the left, with 3 cobblestones to the left of that, with a linked 3 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. From the middle block of those 3, place a cobblestone above it. From the bottom 3 that we had, to the left of these oaks, on the right block of those, you're going to place 1 block going diagonally up to the right, with a light grey wall above it. To the left of that, place a light grey wall, with 2 birch planks going across on the upper level to the left. Fill in this empty space here with your white terracotta. Fill in this empty space with your light grey wool. Where you've got this cobblestone here, place a light grey wool above it, with a light grey wool going diagonally up to the right. On top of that, place 3 white terracottas going up like so, and fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracottas. No, white terracottas, sorry. From the middle block of these 3, place a white terracotta across to the left of it, with a sand above it. On top of that sand, place a linked 3 white terracottas going across to the left. From the bottom block of those 3 on the left, you're going to place 2 white terracottas going across to the right. Go back to the left block of these 2, and on the left of it, you're going to place 4 birch planks going across to the left, with 1 block going diagonally up to the left. To the left of that, you're going to place a cobblestone, with 2 cobblestone going across on the lower level to the right. Then place 2 oak planks going across on the lower level to the right, and place 1 oak plank going diagonally down to the right, with a cobblestone to the right. A cobblestone, not a sand. A cobblestone to the right of it. Underneath that cobblestone, you're going to place a oak plank with a linked 2 going diagonally down, to the right, with another linked 2 going down to the right. You are going to fill in this empty space here with your birch planks, like so. Come up here to this birch plank here, and on top of it, place a white terracotta, with a white terracotta going diagonally up to the left. Underneath that white terracotta, place a birch plank. Fill in this empty space here with your sand. Fill in this one empty space here, it's like a snake, with your sand. Like that. That's got a big portion of the sand done, except for the stuff that's over here. Coming down here, you've got this empty space here, fill that in with your birch planks. We're using this oak plank here as the center block, place 5 oak planks going up like that. From the top block of those 5, you're going to place 2 light grey walls on top of it, with 3 birch planks going up on the left. In the middle block of those 3 on the left, place a light grey wall, with a linked 2 birch planks going up on the left. On top of this light grey wool, you can place 2 white terracottas going up, with 2 blocks going to the right of that, and then place 2 blocks going down on the right with your white terracotta, with 1 block going diagonally down to the right. To the right of that, place a birch plank with a birch log above it. To the right of that birch log, you're going to place a white terracotta with 2 white terracottas going up on the right. To the right of that top block, place a white terracotta with 2 blocks going up on the right, with 1 block going up diagonally up to the right from that. Then place a light grey wool going diagonally up to the right from that. On top of that, place a white terracotta with a white terracotta going diagonally up to the left. So in this empty space here, underneath this light grey wool, place a oak log plank and fill in this empty space here with your birch planks. Fill in this empty space here and this empty space here with your white terracotta, like so. You are then gonna move up here, and on top of this white terracotta here, you are going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 white terracottas going up like so, with a sand above it. You are then going to come down here underneath this birch plank here, the one which is sticking out from the middle block of these 3. So underneath that, you are going to place 2 light grey wools going down like so, with a linked 4 blocks going down on the right. From the second block of those 4 on the right, place a light grey wool with a birch plank below it. Go to the right of this light grey wool and place a white terracotta, and use that as a center block for 3 white terracottas that go across above it. So coming down here, back to these 4 blocks, and to the bottom block of those 4 on the left, place 2 light grey wools going up. Underneath those 2, place an oak plank like so. Fill in this empty space here with your white terracotta. And now with your sand, fill in this empty space, that empty space, that empty space, that empty space, that empty space, and that empty space with your sand. So go ahead and do that now. So that should look like that. And now we're moving down here, we're going to have to require a lot of switching blocks. So I'm just going to try and do my best. So from this oak log here, we can place a soul sand going diagonally down to the right with another one going diagonally down to the right. On top of that, place an oak log with a light grey wool going diagonally up to the left of that. From that, place a white terracotta going diagonally up to the left with a birch plank above it with a white terracotta above that. Go to this white terracotta here and place a birch plank going diagonally down to the left with another one going diagonally down to the left of that. Fill in this empty space here with your birch plank. Cool. I can now switch this out for that, and I can switch that out for sand. Cool. Actually, yeah, we'll do that for now. Okay. So to the right of that, so bother. Okay, come up here to this light grey wool. Underneath it, place 2 white terracottas going down with a white terracotta going diagonally down to the left of that. Underneath that, place 3 birch plank logs going down like so. From the middle block of those 3, place 3 birch logs going up to the right. To the right of those 3 blocks, place cobblestones on each of the right. On top of that, place a light grey terracotta. Go back to these cobblestones, and underneath it, you are going to place 3 light grey walls going down like so, with a linked 2 blocks going down on the right. With a linked 2 blocks going down on the right, with 1 block going diagonally down to the left, with 2 blocks going down on the right. To the bottom block of those 2 on the right, place a cobblestone with 3 cobblestones going across on the upper level to the right. From the first block of those 3 on top of it, place 2 blocks going up, with a cobblestone going, 2 cobblestones going diagonally up to the left, like so. And then place a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the left. You are now going to fill in this empty space here with your light grey wool. Grab your light grey terracottas, and where you've got this cobblestone, to the right of it, place 2 light grey terracottas going across to the right with a soul sand to the right of that. To the going up to the right of that, place 2 cyan terracottas. with, from the bottom block of those two on the right, place a soul sand. Go back to these, on top of that soul sand, place a grey wool, with the grey wool going diagonally up to the left. To the left of that grey wool, place a cyan terracotta, with two cyan terracottas going up on the left. For the top block of those two on the right, place a grey wool. So you are now going to grab green terracotta. Underneath that, place a green terracotta. Go up here to where you've got these three grey terracottas going down. Underneath it, place a green terracotta with two green terracottas going diagonally down to the right. You're then going to fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta, and this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. You are going to grab your spruce logs, fill this empty space with your spruce log, and here you are going to place an oak log right there with a lime terracotta right in this space here. Sorry for all that. So then underneath here, we've got these three birch logs going down. You're going to place two white terracottas going down like so, with two birch logs going across on a lower level to the left, with one birch log going diagonally up to the left like so. Go back to these two blocks, and to the right block of those two, underneath it, place two white terracottas going down like so, with one block going diagonally down to the left, with two blocks going across on the upper level to the left. You are now going to grab your birch plank again, and to the right of this oak log, you're going to place a birch plank. I'm going to need to get some brown wool. I can get that from here. So, underneath that birch plank, place two brown wools going across to the right, with three blocks going across on a lower level to the right. On top of the middle block of those three, place a light grey wool, with a light grey terracotta to the left of that. So with your sand, you're going to fill in this empty space, and this empty space, like so. And then with your white terracotta, you're going to fill in this empty space here. So go ahead and do that now. And that should look like that. So we're now going to head up here. We're going to leave this section for now. This is manic, but we can grab our soul sand and place a soul sand to the left of that, because that would just make it easier for us. But what you could do is move up here, place a soul sand there and a soul sand there. That empty space is going to be filled with a black terracotta. I don't know why I forgot to do that. So fill this empty space here with your black terracotta. And grab your soul sand again. You're going to do some more filling in, because this is stuff that I planned to fill in but forgot. Fill in this empty space and this empty space with your soul sand, like so. So now we're going to have to do this, but I'm thinking we could work our way up here first and then move back down here. This is slightly easier to do. So I'm going to get my inventory set up for doing this, and I'll be back. So you are going to move to this grey terracotta over here, and on the right of it, place a green concrete with a lime terracotta to the right of that. Then place three lime terracotta going across on a lower level to the right. Underneath the first block of those three, you're going to place a lime terracotta. They linked two light grey terracottas going down to the right. And then place a green terracotta going diagonally down to the right, with two lime terracottas going up on the right. From the bottom block of those two on the right, place a lime terracotta with a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the right. From that lime terracotta, place a light grey terracotta going diagonally down to the right. On top of that, place a light grey terracotta with three diagonals going up to the left with your lime terracotta. No, not lime. With your light grey terracotta. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. And we're now going to work up here. So, on top of this grey terracotta we started all this from, you are going to place a green concrete with a green terracotta above that, with a light grey terracotta above that. From that light grey terracotta, you can place a lime terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with a green terracotta to the left of that. Fill in this empty space with your green concrete. So, going on top of this green terracotta, you are going to place a cobblestone with a light grey terracotta to the right. On top of that, place a white terracotta, go back to that light grey terracotta, and on the right, place a white terracotta with 2 sand above it. Go back to that white terracotta. Underneath it, place a oak plank with an oak plank going diagonally down to the right. Underneath that oak plank, there is going to be a cobblestone with a cobblestone going diagonally down to the right. Go back to this oak plank, and on top of it, you are going to place 3 birch planks going up on top of it. From the middle block of those 3 on the right, you are going to place 3 white terracottas going down like so. We'll fill these in later. I don't have the blocks on me, so that will be when we went down to do this section. Anyway, we're going to continue with this. So, from the top block of these 3 white terracottas, you're going to place 2 sands going diagonally up to the right. And I'm going to switch out this green concrete for birch logs, because that's going to come in handy. So on top of this sand, place a birch log, or 3 birch logs going across on the lower level to the right. Underneath the middle block of those 3, place a birch log, go back to these 3, and from the third block, place a birch log going diagonally up to the left. Then a birch log going diagonally down to the left, with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the left. So you're going to look up here, following this green up, until you hit this first spruce log, and on the right of that, you're going to place a birch log with a white terracotta above it, with a birch plank above that, with 2 oak planks above that. From that, place a linked 2 green terracottas going up on the left. Go back to these 2 oak planks, and from the bottom block of the 2 on the right, place a birch log. Go back to these oak planks again, and place 2 birch planks going across on the upper level to the right, with a oak plank going diagonally down to the right. Underneath that, place a birch plank with a white terracotta below that. You're then going to go to this lime, and underneath that, place a white terracotta with a linked 2 light grey terracottas going diagonally down, or going down on the right. Underneath that, place 2 sand. To the left of these 2 sands are going to be 2 birch logs going up like so, with a sand above it. From that sand, place a birch log going up to the left with a sand above it. So this is where it's going to get tricky. You're going to have to get white wool, so that won't be too hard to get white wool. It could be harder than I thought. So you are going to get white wool, and underneath this, from this birch log here, going diagonally down to the right, place a white wool, fill in this top section with sand, and fill in this bottom section with your white wool. So go ahead and do that now. So that should look like that, and you are now going to move up here to these 2 oak planks, and starting on top of them, you are going to place a light grey wool with a cobblestone on top of it, with a cyan terracotta to the left of that cobblestone. Go back to this cobblestone, and on top of that, place 4 oak planks going up like so. From the top block of those 4, on the left, place a green terracotta with a grey terracotta below it. I got slightly confused then for a second, that's why I paused. It's all good. Anyway, go back down to this, the bottom block of these 4 oak planks, and on the right, place 2 birch planks going across with 2 birch planks below that. Go back to these 2 birch planks, and from the top block on the right, place 3 light grey terracottas going down. Go to the top block of those 3, and place a white terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with a birch plank above it. From the top block of those, from that birch plank, sorry, place 2 birch planks going up. No, not 2 birch planks, place 2 white terracottas going up on the left, like so, with a linked 3 birch planks going up on the left, with an oak plank above it, with a birch plank above that. So you're now going to come back down here to this white terracotta here we had by itself, and on the right of that, you're going to place 2 light grey walls going up like so, with a cyan terracotta going up to the right, with a light grey wall above it. Place a cobblestone going diagonally up to the right, with a white wall above that, with a light grey wall going up to the right with a white wall above it. From this white wall, you are going to place a light blue wall going diagonally up to the right, with... Yeah, we're going to leave it there for now. And you're going to come up here to where you've got these two cyan concrete powders and place a light grey wool above it, with 3 birch logs going diagonally down to the left from that. So I'm going to grab my snow, because you're going to need some snow. From that last birch log on the left, place 2 snow going across to the left. Underneath the first block, place 1 block going down. Underneath the second block, place 3 blocks going down. Go back to these 3 birch logs, and from the first one, on top of it, you can place 2 snow going up like so. From the bottom block of those 2, place 1 block going across to the left, with a link to 2 going across on a lower level to the left. Then place 1 snow going diagonally up to the right. Going up to the left, sorry. From that, you are going to place 2 birch logs going across on the upper level to the left. From the second block of those 2, on top of it, place 2 birch logs going up like so. From the top block of those 2, on the right, place a birch log, go back to the top block of those 2, and place 2 birch logs going diagonally up to the left, like so. Underneath that second diagonal, you're going to place 2 white terracottas going down, with 7 birch logs going down like so underneath it. From the 5th block of those 7 on the right, place a white terracotta. Go back to the 7, and from the 6th block on the left, so right there, you're going to place 6 blocks going down with your birch planks like so. On top of those 6 blocks, you're going to place 3 oak planks going up. From the middle block of those 3 on the left, you're going to place 4 oak planks going down, with 1 block going across to the left of that 4th block. On top of that, that block we had going across to the left, you're going to place a cobblestone with 5 light grey terracottas going up on top of it. From the middle block of those 5 on the right, you are going to place a lime terracotta with an oak plank above it, with a birch plank above that, with a birch plank going diagonally up to the right. Fill in this empty space here with your birch planks. Sorry about this, I've just listened back to that old last clip and it sounded really echoey. Sorry if it's been like that all video. I should have fixed that now, hopefully. Anyway, you are going to come up to that birch plank we had diagonally up to the right and place an oak plank above it, with a melon above that. Go back to these light grey terracottas we're going up, and on top of them you are going to place an oak plank with 4 birch planks above it. From the top, that 4th block on the left, you're going to place a link to 2 lime terracottas going up on the left, with an oak plank above it, with 2 birch planks above that. No, we're not going to fill this in yet. Okay. Grab your white wool and come to... Well, fill in this empty space here with your white wool. Except this corner here. You're going to have to leave this empty. I can't place it in yet because well, I technically could now. You can place a sand there. Yeah, I couldn't place that until we started filling this in, so place a sand there, place a sand here and here, just to fill in these little empty spaces. So then you're going to grab your white wool, and starting underneath these 3 birch logs, starting underneath it, you are going to place 6 white wools going down like so, with 2 blocks going down on the left. Fill in this empty space here with your white wool. Go back to these 2, and from the bottom block of that, place a birch log going diagonally down to the left with a white wool below it. 2 birch logs going across on a lower level to the right. Fill in this empty space here with your sand. Fill in this empty space here with your white wool. We can't fill this one yet. Oh, we can sort of. I'm just need to grab the materials. And lime. And then oak log, which I don't even have. I can't even see an oak log around. How are there no oak logs? Okay, I'm gonna have to get it from my inventory. So, gonna need an oak log. There we go. So, starting from the top of this empty space here, next to that birch plank, you are going to place a lime terracotta with an oak log below it, with a green terracotta below that, with a lime terracotta below that, with an oak log below that. So now moving up to this empty space here, starting underneath these 2 lime terracottas, you can place an oak log with 5 green terracottas below it, with a soul sand below that. So now with your sand, which I don't have on me, with your sand, you are going to fill in this empty space, and this empty space. So once again, that's this empty space, and this empty space with your sand. So go ahead and do that now. So that should look like that, and now you're going to head down here to these 2 empty spaces here, and on the top right, well, from the bottom left one, you're going to place an oak log. The top right one, you're going to place a light grey wool. I'm going to grab the oak log back again, because you're going to fill this empty space in with your oak log. And from the bottom block of those 2, you're going to place 2 oak logs going across on the lower level to the right. Underneath the second block, place an oak log. Underneath that first block, place 3 soul sands going down, with 2 brown terracottas below it. From the bottom block of those 2 on the left, place a brown terracotta going across to the left. Use that as the center block for 3 soul sands going vertically. From the top block of those 3, you can place a linked 2 soul sands going up to the left. Fill this empty space here in with your green terracotta. You are then going to move back to this oak log, and on the right of it, you're going to place a grey wool with a soul sand below it, with a soul sand going diagonally down to the right. On top of that, you're going to place an oak log with a lime terracotta on the right of it, with 2 lime terracottas going across on the lower level to the right. Fill this empty space here in with your light grey terracotta, go back to this second block, and on the right of it, you are going to place 2 oak logs going across to the right, a lime terracotta on the right of that. Place a light grey terracotta on the right of that with a oak log below it, with a lime terracotta on the right of that. You are then going to come over here to these 2 brown terracottas, and to the left of it, and that empty space there, fill those in with grey wool. Go to this grey wool we had up here. On the left of it, place 2 green terracottas going up like so. On the left of both of those, you're going to place 2 green concretes, and from the top block of those 2 on the left, place a green concrete, the green terracotta above it. Fill this empty space here in with your green terracotta like so. Come back over here to these green concretes, and you are going to grab your spruce logs, and starting underneath this one, you can place a spruce log with a spruce log going to the left of it. And I'm just going to grab those back because you're probably going to need them again. So from the spruce logs, from the top of it, you are going to place a linked 2 grey terracottas going across to the left. So from these 2, starting on top of it, you're going to place a linked 2 brown terracottas going across to the left, fill in this empty space of brown. Go back to the second block of these 2, and underneath it, place a brown terracotta with 2 green concretes going down below it, with a green concrete going diagonally down to the left, with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the left. To the right of that, place a grey terracotta with a soul sand going diagonally down to the left. Underneath that soul sand, place 2 oak logs going down, with a green terracotta below it. To the right of that green terracotta, place 2 green terracottas going across to the right. In the middle block of these 3 overall, place a green terracotta above it, with a brown terracotta above that. Go back to these bottom block of these, to the right block of these 2, really 3, and place a brown terracotta with a brown terracotta going up on the left, with 2 brown terracottas going down on the right. From the top block of those 2 on the right, place 3 soul sands going across to the right. From the middle block of those 3 above it and below it, place a soul sand. Go to the right block of these 3 and place a soul sand going diagonally down to the right. Underneath it, place a green terracotta with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with 4 green terracottas going across on a lower level to the left. From the second block of those 4 underneath it, place 3 green terracottas going across to the left. Go back to the fourth block of these 4, and above it, place a green terracotta. Come up here to where you've got these 2 brown terracottas, and on top of it, place a brown terracotta with a linked 2 going up on the right, a soul sand to the left of that, with a brown terracotta above it, with 2 soul sands to the left of that, with a soul sand above the left block of those 2. On the right of that soul sand, you're going to place a grey terracotta with a brown terracotta going diagonally up to the left. You're going to fill in this empty space here with your brown terracotta, like so. And then you are going to come over here to this brown terracotta here, which is to the right of this green terracotta. And starting underneath it, you are going to place 4 oak logs going across to the left like so. On top of the third block of those 4, place an oak log. Go back to the fourth block and place 3 going across on the lower level to the left. Underneath the second block of those 3, place 1 block. Underneath the third block, place 2 blocks with a linked 2 soul sands going down on the left. From the top block of those 2 soul sands, place 2 soul sands going up on the left with a cyan terracotta on top of it. What did I just get rid of? I got rid of that. So from that cyan terracotta, you can place a green terracotta going diagonally up to the left. Go back to that cyan terracotta, place 2 green terracottas going down on the right, and then look on top of those 2. You're going to place 2 oak logs going up like so, with a link 2 going up on the left, with 1 block going to the left of that. So I'm going to have to grab jungle logs. I can't see any around, so I'm just going to grab them from the inventory. And you're going to fill this empty space and this empty space with your jungle logs. You are then going to grab your brown wool, which should be easier to find in the inventory. That's brown concrete, this is brown wool. Fill this empty space in with your brown wool. And now we're going to head down here. So we're actually going to move all the way down here, and to the left of this thing here, you can place a grey wool, with a grey wool going diagonally up to the right, with a soul sand to the right of that, with a brown terracotta to the right of that, with 2 brown terracottas going across on the upper level to the right. Top of that second brown terracotta, place a grey wool, and go back to this brown terracotta, and to the left of it you can place a green terracotta with 3 lime terracottas going across on the upper level linked to the left. From the right block of those 3, place 1 lime terracotta going diagonally up to the right. Go back to these 3, and underneath the third block you're going to place 3 green terracotta going across on the lower level to the left linked. Underneath the third block, you're going to place a green concrete. To the left of that third block, place a green concrete. Above the third block, place a lime terracotta. Go to the green terracotta we had below and place a grey terracotta with a brown terracotta going diagonally up to the right. Go back to this grey terracotta here, and to the left of it, place a black terracotta. And I can now switch this black terracotta out back for a nice block of oak wood, which you're going to place an oak wood here, an oak wood here, with 2 oak woods going across on the upper level to the right. Now head back down here to this green terracotta, then green concrete, and to the left of it, you're going to place 2 grey terracottas with 3 grey terracottas going across on the upper level to the left. On top of the middle block of those 3, you're going to place a soul sand with 2 oak logs going across to the right. Go for the left block of those 2 and place an oak log going diagonally up to the left, with a lime terracotta to the right, with 2 lime terracottas going across on the upper level to the left, with 1 lime terracotta going diagonally up to the left. To the left of that, place a oak log, with an oak log going diagonally down to the right, and fill in this empty space in with your brown terracotta. Fill in these 2 empty spaces here with your nether bricks, and come up here to this empty space here to the left of these 3 grey terracottas and place a nether brick with 2 nether bricks going diagonally up to the left. From that, you are going to place 4 grey terracottas going diagonally up to the left, like so. You are then going to grab your, not black wool, you're going to grab your black terracotta and fill in these 3 empty spaces here with your black terracotta. I'm now going to need my black wool to replace that. So then from here, you're also going to need black terracotta, because from the 4th block of these, you can place 2 black terracottas going diagonally up to the left, like so. From to the right of that 2nd block, you are going to place a green concrete with a green terracotta going diagonally down to the right with a lime terracotta above that. Go to this green terracotta, we head down to the right and place, I thought I was prepared for this, you're going to place a cyan terracotta to the right of this green terracotta with a brown terracotta below it, with an oak log to the right of that, an oak log to the right of it, with a cyan terracotta to the right of that oak log. On top of that cyan terracotta, place a lime terracotta with 2 oak logs going up above it, with a green terracotta above that, green terracotta above that. Go back to these 2 oak logs, and to the right of the bottom block of those 2, place a green terracotta, no, green concrete, with 3 green terracottas below it. To the right of these 3 green terracottas, place 3 green terracottas. So that should be like a 2x3. To the bottom block of these 3, you can place 2 oak logs going up on the right, like so. Go back to this cyan terracotta here, and underneath it place an oak log with an oak log going diagonally down to the right. To the left of that oak log, place a brown terracotta with a soul sign going diagonally up to the left. Go back to this brown terracotta, and from it place 2 soul signs going across on the lower level to the right, with a linked 2 going across on the lower level to the right. On top of the 2nd set, you can place a brown terracotta with 2 brown terracottas going diagonally down to the right. On top of that 3rd diagonal, you're going to place a cyan terracotta with a oak log going diagonally up to the left. You are then going to, underneath this soul sand here, you're going to place a grey terracotta with a soul sand to the right of it. So I'm going to have to probably do an inventory change soon. You're going to come up here to this green concrete here, and on top of it place a cyan terracotta with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the left, like so. And then place a green concrete going diagonally up to the left, like so, with a cyan terracotta above it, with cyan terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with a soul sand going diagonally up to the left, with a nether brick to the left of it, with a nether brick going diagonally up to the left. On top of that nether brick, you're going to place 2 grey terracottas going up, with a nether brick to the left of it, with a grey terracotta above that. On top of that grey terracotta, you are going to place 3 green terracottas going up, like so. From the bottom block of those 3 on the right, place a cyan terracotta with an oak log below it, with a cyan terracotta going diagonally down to the right, with a soul sand below it, with a grey terracotta below that. To the right of that grey terracotta, you are going to place a lime terracotta, and then you're going to head up here to this cyan terracotta up here, and well, go to these 3 green terracottas, sorry, and from the middle block of those 3 on the right, place 2 lime terracottas going across to the right. Use that as the center block for 3 lime terracottas going vertically. From the bottom block of those 3, place a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the right. Go back to the top block of these 3, and place a lime terracotta going diagonally up to the right, with 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. On top of the first block of those 2, sorry, so just right there, you can place 3 lime terracottas going up like so, and fill in this empty space here with your lime terracotta. So I'm now going to grab light grey terracotta, because we're going to do a fair bit with that, and we're also going to need most of these actually. Oh, you are going to start then by, okay, we won't need this, so I can grab oak planks with that. You're going to start by heading down here to where you've got these two spruce logs with these two oak logs to the left of it. Underneath these two oak logs, you can place two lime terracottas going down like so. From the bottom block of those two on the right, with a light grey terracotta with a cell sand above it. Go back to this light grey terracotta, and starting underneath it, place two oak logs going across to the right. Underneath the right of these two, place a cyan terracotta. Underneath the left of these two, place a lime terracotta. Underneath that cyan terracotta, place an oak log. Underneath the lime terracotta, place two oak logs with a green terracotta below it. With a lime terracotta to the left of it, go back to this green terracotta, and underneath it, place a oak log with a green terracotta below it. To the left of that green terracotta, you're going to place two oak planks going across to the left. From the first block of those two, underneath it, place an oak plank. Go and place four light grey terracottas going down on the right. From the third block of those four on the left, place a light grey terracotta. On the second block of those four on the left, place two light grey terracottas. For link 2 going across on the upper level to the left, with two blocks going up on the left. Why have I missed these out? What have I missed out here? I've missed out two spruce logs. That's what I've done. So fill in these two empty spaces with your spruce logs. I've nuclear what I just got rid of. Hopefully it wasn't anything important. Oh no, I do. Soul sand, that's what I got rid of. So from these two light grey terracottas, you are going to place a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with two light grey terracottas going up on the left, with a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with three blocks going across to the right linked on the upper level, and then fill in this empty space with your light grey terracotta. Go back to the third block of these three going to the right, and place a light grey terracotta going diagonally down to the right. From that light grey terracotta going diagonally down to the right, place a linked two oak planks going down on the right. From the top block of those two, place two blocks going up on the right, with two blocks going across on the upper level to the left, with one block going diagonally up to the left. Underneath that block diagonally up to the left, place one block going down. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Fill in this empty space here. Actually, not yet. To the right of this lime terracotta, place an oak plank with a cobblestone going diagonally up to the right. From that, on top of that, you are going to place a cyan terracotta. Now you can fill in this empty space with your light grey terracotta. Fill in this empty space with your light grey terracotta. Fill in this empty space with your oak planks. And from the bottom block of these two oak planks, you are going to place two light grey terracottas going down on the right, with one block going diagonally down to the right. I may as well keep cobblestone, because you are going to fill in this empty space here with your cobblestone. So go ahead and do that. I'll do it on camera with you. And fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Like so. We're actually getting pretty close to getting his chin done. We've just got to do this section, which is a bit manic up until about here. Then it's all basically like up there, going across here, and then it's a bit manic again up that side. So I'm going to get this part done, and then that part, then I'll walk in the middle for a nice little calm at the end. So we are going to need to get... It's these woods, I don't like them, but they just look so good in the build. Anyway, with your jungle logs, to the right of this oak plank, you can place two jungle logs going across to the right, with a light grey terracotta to the right of that, with two light grey terracottas going down, diagonally down to the right. To the right of that bottom block, you're going to place a oak plank with linked two oak planks going across on the upper level to the left, with a linked two oak planks going across on the upper level to the left, with four blocks going up on the left. To the top block of those four going down, you can place two light grey terracottas. On top of that light grey terracotta, place a lime terracotta. With a lime terracotta going diagonally up to the right, with a lime terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with a green terracotta to the left of that, with green terracotta going diagonally down to the right, with a green terracotta going diagonally down to the left, Underneath that green terracotta, place a jungle log with a jungle wood going diagonally up to the left. Also going to need brown wool. I'll get that because that's pretty simple to get. So starting next to this green terracotta, on the left place 2 brown walls going across to the left with brown wool going diagonally up to the left. On top of that brown wool going up to the left, you are going to place a black terracotta above it with a brown terracotta above that, with a soul sand above that, with 2 soul sands going up on the right. From the bottom block of those 2, underneath it, you're going to place 3 jungle logs going down. To the right of the top block of those 3, you place 2 soul sands going across to the right. To the middle block of those 3, going to the right, you're going to place 3 oak logs going across the right, with a link 2 going across on a lower level to the right. Fill in this empty space here with your brown wool, with a brown wool going diagonally down to the right, with a brown terracotta going diagonally down to the right, 2 brown terracottas going diagonally down to the right, sorry, with a grey terracotta to the right of that. Underneath that grey terracotta, place a an oak log with 3 light grey terracottas going across to the left like so. On the top block of those 3, place a block above it, and the third block of those 3 underneath it, place a not a jungle log, you place a light grey terracotta. I'm forgetting how to speak, it seems. To the left of this light grey terracotta, you're going to place an oak log. To the right of this light grey terracotta, place an oak log. On top of this light grey terracotta here, place an oak log with lime terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with a lime terracotta going diagonally down to the left. Fill in this empty space and this empty space with oak logs. Fill in this empty space with a oak plank. Come down here, and you can't place those blocks yet because I don't have them on me. And come to these 2 and place an oak plank going diagonally up to the right, with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the right from that, with 2 light grey terracottas going across to the right, with a block underneath the second block. Go back to the first block and place link two blocks going across on the upper level to the left. To the right of those 2, place a green terracotta with a soul sand above it, with a brown terracotta to the left of that. No, to the right of that, sorry. Underneath that brown terracotta, you place linked 2 oak logs going across to the right. And come up here to this spruce, and to the left of it, you are going to place, to the right of it, sorry, you're going to place a grey terracotta with 2 brown walls going across the right of that, with a spruce log going diagonally up to the right. To the right of that, place a grey terracotta with a brown wall to the right of it. This is going to get really tricky because there's all these nether rocks in here. So I'm going to move up here, and we're going to work up this side. So you are going to come down to this section here, and where you've got this grey wall, to the left of place a soul sand with 2 grey walls going across to the left. Go to this grey wall here, and on the right of it, place a green terracotta. 2 green terracottas going across on the upper level to the right. Move ahead to this green concrete. To the left of it, place 2 green terracottas. Go back to this green concrete, and to the right of it, place a brown terracotta with an oak log above it. 2 oak logs going down on the right, linked. To the top block of those 2 on the right, place a lime terracotta with... Ooh, this is going to be hard to do. I need to get... I thought I had this planned out. You're going to need cyan terracotta, and place 2 cyan terracottas going across on a lower level to the right from that. There we go. There isn't really any more of that in this section. I think there's more up there. But okay, from the bottom block of these, on the right, you are going to, or the grey walls on the right, you're going to place 2 grey terracottas going across to the right, with a link 2 going up on the right, going across on the upper level to the right, with another 2 sets of 2 going across the right, linked on the upper level. From the top set of those, on the left block of it, you can place 1 block of soul sand with 2 soul sands going diagonally down to the left, an oak log to the left of that, with a brown terracotta below it. So I'm now going to replace these soul sands out for nether bricks, and you're going to fill in these two and these two with your nether bricks. You're going to fill in this one here with your black terracotta, with a nether brick going diagonally up to the right from that. Go to this grey terracotta and place 3 grey terracottas going across on the upper level to the right, linked with 1 block going up on the 3rd block, with 2 blocks going diagonally up to the right with your grey terracotta, with 2 blocks going up on the right with your grey terracotta. From the top block of those 2 on the right, place 1 block with a grey wall above it, and a grey wall going diagonally up to the right. To the right of that grey wall, place a grey terracotta with a grey terracotta going diagonally down to the left. Go to this grey terracotta that we had to the right of that grey wall and place a black terracotta. You're going to fill in this empty space and this empty space with your black terracotta, like so. So go ahead and do that now. Go to this black terracotta here, and above it place a nether brick with a grey terracotta above it, with a grey terracotta going diagonally up to the right. You are going to fill in this empty space here with your black wool. Seems that I just miscounted or something then. And on top of this grey terracotta here, you are going to place 2 green terracottas going up like so. From the top block of those 2 on the left, you are going to place a lime terracotta with 2 lime terracottas going across on a lower level to the left. Underneath the first block, place a lime terracotta. Underneath the second block, place 2 lime terracottas going down with an oak log below it. Fill in this empty space with your green terracotta. Fill in this empty space with a green terracotta at the bottom with an oak log at the top. Go back to this oak log down here and place 2 green terracottas going across on the lower level to the left. 2 lime terracottas going across on the upper level to the left, linked. Go back to these green terracottas and lime terracottas, and underneath the second block place an oak log going diagonally down to the left, with 2 oak logs going down on the left. To the bottom block of those 2 on the left, place a lime terracotta with 2 green terracottas going down below it. From the top block of those 2 on the right, place a green terracotta with 2 green terracottas going up on the right, with a green terracotta going diagonally up to the right. To the right of that, place a green wool with a brown terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with a green wool below it, with a grey wool going diagonally down to the left, and then have 2 brown terracottas going diagonally down to the left. To the left of that bottom brown terracotta, place a green terracotta to the left, with a cyan terracotta to the left of it, and a cyan terracotta above that green terracotta. Actually, that's basically all of... yeah, that's that part done. Cool. So we're now going to head up here. I'm going to switch this out for light grey terracotta, and I'm going to switch the green wool out for cobblestone. So starting underneath these 5 oak logs, starting underneath it, place 2 lime terracottas going down, with 2 blocks going diagonally down to the left. Underneath that on top of that second diagonal, place 2 lime terracottas going up. Fill in this empty space here with your lime terracotta. Go to those 2 blocks going up and place a light grey terracotta going diagonally up to the left, with an oak plank to the left of it. To the left of that oak flank, place 2 light grey terracottas going across to the left. Fill in this top empty space here with your light grey terracottas. Go back to these 2 and place a light grey terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with another one going diagonally down to the left. To the left of that, you are going to place a soul sand like so, with a light grey terracotta going diagonally down to the left of that, with a grey terracotta to the left of that. Underneath that grey terracotta, you are going to place an oak plank with an oak log to the left of it. To the left of that oak log, you're going to place 2 spruce logs going across to the left, like so. In the right block of those 2, place a linked 2 going across to the right. Fill in this empty space with your nether bricks. Go back to these 2 and underneath the second block of those, or the left block of those two, place a light grey terracotta. So we'll head back over here because we started getting carried away slightly. Starting from this light grey terracotta here, on the right of it, place 4 cobblestones going across to the right. Underneath that 4th cobblestone, place 2 light grey terracottas going down, with 2 cobblestones below it. From the top block of those 2 on the right, place a cobblestone. Fill in this empty space to the left of this oak log with cobblestone. Fill in then this empty space with your light grey terracottas. Underneath these 2 cobblestones here, place a light grey terracotta with 2 cobblestones going across to the left, with a cobblestone below it. Place a light grey terracotta there. Fill in this empty space with your light grey terracotta. Go back to this light grey terracotta. Place a cobblestone going diagonally down to the left with a light grey terracotta below it, with 2 cobblestones going diagonally down to the left, with a light grey terracotta below it, with a cobblestone to the left of that, a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with a cobblestone to the left of that, a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with a cobblestone to the left of that, a light grey terracotta to the left of that. Yeah, no, it's a bit repetitive. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Go back to this light grey terracotta here, and you are going to place a cyan terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with a light grey terracotta to the left of it, with 2 cobblestones to the left of that, with a linked 2 cyan terracottas going across on a lower level to the left, with a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with a cyan terracotta going diagonally down to the left, with a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with a cobblestone above it. Go back to that light grey terracotta and place a cyan terracotta to the left of it, with a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with a cobblestone above it. Go back to that light grey terracotta, and to the left of it, place a cobblestone, a light grey terracotta to the left of it, with a cyan terracotta to the left of that. Come over here to this lime terracotta, and to the left of it, place a light grey terracotta with a cobblestone above it. So I'm going to grab oak planks, and to the left of that cobblestone, place an oak plank with 3 oak planks going across on a lower level to the left. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Go back to these 3 oak planks, and from the middle block of those 3 above it, place a cobblestone. Go back to these 3 and place a oak plank going diagonally up to the left, with a light grey terracotta above it, with a light grey terracotta to the left of that, with an oak plank to the left of that. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey terracotta. Go back to this oak plank, and to the left of it, place linked 2 cobblestones going up. From the top block of those 2 on the left, place a cobblestone with a light grey terracotta there. Go back to these 2 and look directly up to these 2 light grey terracottas we had going down here with a cobblestone. Place a cobblestone below it. In this empty space here, underneath this oak log here, place a cobblestone. So I'm going to have to grab light grey wool as well as birch planks. So birch planks and light grey wool. So place a birch plank here underneath this oak log, with a birch plank going diagonally down to the left, with a birch plank going diagonally down to the right. Fill in these 2 empty spaces here with your light grey wool. Come over here to where you got these 2 oak logs, and to the left of those 2 oak logs, place 3 birch planks going down like so, with 2 light grey wools below it. Fill in this empty space here with your light grey wool. So I may as well also grab some white terracotta, because that's going to become pretty useful as well right now, if I can find it. There we go. My inventory is looking a bit of a mess currently. It'll be fine. Anyway, from these 2 light grey terracottas, from the bottom block on the right, so right there, you can place 5 white terracottas going up like so. On the 2nd and 4th block, sorry, you can place 1 light grey terracotta going out to the right. From the top of these 2, you are going to place 2 birch planks going across to the right, with 4 light grey white terracottas going across to the right. On top of the 3rd and 4th block, place oak planks with 2 birch planks going across to the right, with 2 white terracottas going across to the right. Go back to these 4 white terracottas here and place 4 birch planks going across, no, 3 birch planks, sorry, going across to the right of those. Go back to these 2 white terracottas here and place an oak plank going diagonally up to the right, with a birch plank to the right of that, with a white terracotta to the right of that. So we're going to have to back off here currently, head up to this one we have here, which is underneath these spruce logs, and to the right of that one, you're going to place this light grey terracotta. You're going to place a birch plank with a white terracotta to the right of it. Go back to this light grey terracotta, and underneath it, place 2 white terracottas going across on a lower level to the left, linked with a birch plank to the left of that, with 2 oak planks to the left of that. You can probably see how this is looking. We're actually really close to getting finished. That's really cool. Okay, you can head up here to this light grey terracotta here. Well, this soul sand, sorry. And underneath it, place a light grey wool with 2 white terracottas going across to the right of it. From the first block of those 2, place a linked 2 going across to the left on the lower level. Underneath the second block of those 2, place a light white terracotta going down with 2 white terracottas going diagonally down to the right. To the left of that second diagonal, place 2 light grey walls going across to the left. Underneath both of those, place cobblestones. Underneath the left of those cobblestones, place a light grey wall. Underneath the right of those cobblestones, place a birch plank with 2 light grey walls below it. So you're going to head up here to where you've got this white terracotta, the second of these 2 white terracottas where diagonally down to the right. You're going to place 3 white light grey walls above it. Go over here to this cobblestone, and on top of it, place a birch plank. You are now going to fill in this empty space here with your light grey wool, so go ahead and do that now. Leave that space alone, just this space. So go ahead and do that. So that should look like that, and you're going to now head down to this light grey wool down here. Well, go to the one that's underneath the cobblestone and place a white terracotta below it with a linked 2 light grey walls going across to the left below that, with 4 blocks going across to the left on the lower level to the left. Fill in that empty space there with your light grey wool. On top of the second block of those 4, place a birch plank above it with a white terracotta to the left of that. On top of each of those, place a sand. Go to the first of those 4 light grey walls, and place 3 white terracottas going up like so. From the middle block of those 3 on the right, place 3 white terracottas going up. To the left of the top block of those 3, place a sand with 3 birch logs above it. Up here, to the right of this oak log, you're going to place a birch plank and fill in this empty space and that empty space with your birch logs. So you are then going to head back down here to these 4 and place 4 light grey walls going across on a lower level to the left. Start on the third block of those 4 and place a birch log above it, with a birch log going diagonally up to the right, with another one going diagonally up to the right, and then another one going diagonally up to the right. So that's 4 blocks going diagonally up to the right in total. Fill in this empty space here with your white terracotta. Go back to these 4 light grey walls and place 5 going across on a lower level to the left. Fill in these 2 empty spaces with your light grey walls. On top of the second block of those 5, place a sand with 2 birch logs going up above it. To the top block of those 2 on the left, place a white terracotta. On top block of those 2 on the right, place 3 white terracottas. From the middle block of those 3 below it, place a white terracotta with a white terracotta going diagonally down to the left. Fill in that empty space there with your birch logs. Come back down to this sand, and to the left of it, place 3 white terracottas going across to the left with a linked 2 going across on the upper level to the left. To the left of that, place a light grey wool with a linked 2 birch logs going across on a lower level to the right. Underneath that second birch log, you can place a white terracotta like so. You are then going to place 6 light grey walls going across to the left like so, with 2 blocks going diagonally up to the left, with 2 blocks going across on a lower level to the left. Fill in this empty space with your light grey wool, and fill in this empty space with your light grey wool, like so. You are then going to head up to the second light grey wool, diagonally up to the left, and on top of it, place a white terracotta with a birch log above it. Fill in this empty space here with your birch log. You are then going to head down here to this light grey wool and to the right of it place a birch log with 5 white terracottas going across to the right. Fill in this empty space here with your white terracotta. So that should look like that, and then on top of the middle block of those 5, place a sand with a birch log to the left of it, with a birch log going diagonally up to the left of that. Fill in this empty space here with your birch logs. Go back to this sand, and on the right of it, place 2 birch logs going across to the right, 2 birch logs going up on the right of that. Fill in this empty space here in with your sand. So then you are going to head up here to this birch log here, and to the right of it, you're going to place a birch log, if I can place it right, and place a birch log going diagonally up to the right from that. Fill in this empty space here in with your sand. From that birch log we head up to the right, place a birch log going diagonally down to the right, with 4 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. This is really hard to place. And then place a birch log going diagonally down to the right, with a sand above it, with a birch log above that. That should be it. Oh wait, no. So, underneath this, actually, from these two white terracottas, place a birch log going diagonally down to the right, with a sand above it. And on top of these 4 birch logs, place sands above all 4 of those, with a sand going diagonally down to the left to fill in that empty space there. And now, with your birch logs, fill in this empty space here, to go ahead and do that now. So that should look like that, and we're now going to head up here to the right of this big empty space here. Well, it's not that big compared to what other stuff we've done, but it's fairly big now that we've basically finished the face. So right here, on the right of it, the very right of it, you're going to place a jungle log with 2 brown walls to the left of it, with 4 netherracks to the left of that, with 2 brown walls to the left of that. Go underneath the second block of those netherracks to the new right at this point of the thing, and you're going to place 4 terracottas going across to the left, with an orange terracotta to the left of it, with 2 terracottas going to the left of that. Underneath that second terracotta, place a terracotta. To the left of these 2 terracottas here, place 2 red terracottas going up. To the left of that top block, place a netherrack. To the left of the bottom block, you're going to place a terracotta, and then a netherrack. Have I done something wrong? No, I haven't done anything wrong. No, you're not going to place a netherrack to the left of that. You're going to place 2 red terracottas and then a netherrack. Sorry about that. And from that netherrack, you're going to place 2 terracottas going across on the lower level to the left, with a oak log to the left of it, and then a terracotta to the left of that, and that is the face done. That is that entire face finished, which is pretty monumental. Now, I think we could potentially do this in one part. It will be a pretty long part, and it's going to take a bit of time to record, but as I recorded this like a week or so, maybe even 2 weeks early, I'm not even sure when I'm going to put this video out. I'm going to have a lot of time to do this, and I'm going to try and I'm going to try and abbreviate it as much as possible, so it's not like a 2-hour episode, but it's still, like, it still gets done in one part, hopefully, as all we've got left is to do that, mark that out, and if I just fly over there pretty quickly, we are very close to finishing this, as we've got this part, which is generally just a lot of lefts and rights and stuff with the redstone blocks and the pumpkins. And once we've done that, it's generally just filling in for this section. So I'm really happy about this. We're very close to finishing this off. So yeah, it really does look amazing, doesn't it? Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. So thank you for watching this video. To the next video I or a VTubers make, don't forget to like and subscribe for hopefully the final part of this pixel art tutorial. I'm actually quite happy about this, because that means I can start getting onto another pixel art maybe. Hopefully a smaller one, probably slightly less detailed, as the Joker is my favourite character, probably ever. So that's why I put so much detail into this one. Other ones will be less detailed, I just wanted really detailed pixel art for this one. Anyway, so that's going to be it for this video. See you in the next video. Or other YouTubers make. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.